The best form of revolution of any kind is not for us to come together, not for us to put our differences aside and want to unite to fight back against what's right. Because let's just be honest. How many times have I scrolled across on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and I've always heard somebody talking about the same idea for years? Guess what? It still hasn't happened yet. So let's just be honest. This will never happen. But let me tell you the best form of revolution, the best form of revolution of any kind, if you're actually fed up with the system, if you're actually fed up with the way that life is actually designed, is to become financially successful. Let me explain why. Now listen, in order for me to actually help you realize and understand why becoming financially successful is the best form of revolution, we need to realize and understand why this idea of coming together, putting our differences aside and wanting to unite to fight back against what's right will never happen. It will never happen. It will never happen. Let me give you the perfect example as to why this is the case, right? So for those that know the situation of Nolan Wells, right? And obviously that's nothing to laugh about. May the Most High rest his soul, right? But I want you to notice, okay, why was his death being pushed out so much to media? It was everywhere. It went viral, social media, news channels. Everybody was talking about. Everybody knows about it. But why is that the case? Why are these media companies, it's like they're purposely trying to shove up this story in your face. Nobody's actually seeing the bigger picture of this. Why are they doing this, right? Why are they doing this? Some people may think, oh yeah, they want to bring an end to racism, right? But bro, it's as if they're purposely trying to piss black people off. It's so obvious and it's successfully working. Look over social media. Search up on social media reaction of Nolan Wells' death, right? And obviously, nobody actually knows the full story, but people are already jumping to conclusions talking about how those white folks were responsible of his death, right? And so I'm not trying to say that that wasn't the case. However, why were these media companies pushing out his story so much, right? Why? It's to cause more separation and division. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? As long as the media continues to exist, this idea of coming together, putting our differences aside, wanting to unite will never happen. As long as the media continues to exist, this will never happen. And the Nolan Wells situation is the perfect example. People have successfully fallen for the bait, and now his death has done what? Caused more separation and division within the community. Literally. Go look at it for yourself. So now guess what, right? Black people have already gone back to stage one of having a victim mindset, right? Now they think that, oh, white people are the enemy. Oh, white people should be avoided. White people should not be fucked with. We need to keep our distance. They are our enemies. This is exactly what they want you to think, though. Do you see what I'm saying? Bro, as long as the media continues to exist, scrap that whole idea of coming together, putting our differences aside, and wanting to unite. Scrap it. It's never going to happen because people don't actually understand and realize how to see the bigger picture of things. They never will. They never will. That's exactly why people who are consciously aware of the events that are going on around the world, it is your God-given right to become financially successful. I don't care what anybody says. If you are somebody that's consciously aware of the events that are going on around the world, I will say this literally until my grave. If you're somebody that's consciously aware of the events that are going on around the world, maybe you know that the way of life that's kind of been designed the way it is not right. Maybe you actually understand and realize how, school is a scam. Maybe you actually understand and realize how we've been lied to our whole lives. Maybe you realize and understand how there's a lot more to life that we haven't been told yet. You need to make it your primary goal to become financially successful and scrap that whole idea of coming together, putting our differences aside, wanting to unite. Because as I just explained, it will never happen. So if you're somebody that's consciously aware of the events that are going on around the world, right? But it's not your main goal to want to become financially successful. You don't want to become rich, right? It's not even on your plate. It's not even a goal that you have in mind. Well, okay, answer me this. When it comes to these huge historical figures that people still talk about, even in schools, even today, right? Whether we're talking about Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X and those kind of guys that were able to positively impact the minds of the collective consciousness for the overall better, right? To answer me this, was it ever somebody in the point of history that was able to change the minds, change the beliefs, and overall help raise the frequency of the collective consciousness Were they a sheep? Were they an NPC? Were they somebody who loved to follow the crowd? Somebody that doesn't even have the capability to formulate their own opinions, but just loves to go along the crowd and do all these things, and they're essentially a robot, they're a sheep? Or was it somebody that was actually consciously aware of the events that are going on around the world, knew what was happening, knew what was going on, and knew that they had to speak to their people in order to actually make a change, bro? Answer me. And listen, there probably is a likelihood of, somebody being an NPC and sheep and still somehow being able to sway the minds of the collective consciousness for the overall better. But the likelihood of that actually being the case is very, very low, right? Do you see what I'm saying? And so for us to, like I mentioned before, it is literally you and me's God-given right to become financially successful, because we are literally killing two birds with one stone. We're literally killing two birds with one stone. Not only will you, one, be able to actually enjoy your materialistic desires, right? Which I think it should be within everybody's right to want to do so, right? And people always say, oh, you need to believe in minimalism and stuff like that. But it's like, bro, like, as a kid, you've always wanted these things for yourself. You've always wanted a Lamborghini. You've always wanted a nice AP, a watch, right? I'm not a watch person, but you get what I mean. You've always wanted, I don't know, like a huge house for yourself. Me personally, I'm trying to get me a big house. Like, I'm gonna get me a mansion, right? Like, all for myself, right? But, bro, to like have those desires and like just put them aside, it just doesn't make sense, because they'll eventually come back to haunt you. Like, you'll eventually like gravitate to wanting those things. So it's like, to put those things aside doesn't make sense. I truly feel like and believe it should be within everybody's right to want to satisfy, the earthly materialistic desires. And second of all, bro, you are achieving self-sustainability. Once you've achieved self-sustainability, you have beaten the system. Quite literally, can't nobody fuck with you once you've achieved self-sustainability, right? You can grow your own food. You can buy you a couple of pieces of land. You can build yourself out a whole neighborhood with that piece of land. You can do all these things. When you become financially successful and financially abundant, bro, these are the two birds you're killing with just one stone. That one stone being becoming financially successful. If you are somebody that's watching this, bro, listen, you see how hype I am? Because, bro, I truly believe this with my heart and soul. If you are somebody that's financially successful, or excuse me, not financially successful, but you're consciously aware of the events that are going on around the world, right? But you're not trying to become financially successful, it should be your God-given right to do so. Who are the people that could truly change the world at the end of the day? It's damn sure not going to be the NPC and sheep who doesn't know how to formulate their own opinions. It's going to be you and me that actually understand and realize how life was never designed in a way that would make any of us successful. And who are going to be the people that actually decide to change that? Not the NPC that doesn't know how to formulate their own opinions. It's going to be you and me. Bro, that's exact. And bro, you can't do that as a broke person. Just simply put it. You can't do those things as a broke person. It's the sad truth. You can't. But at the end of the day, if you are like me and you actually understand and actually have a brain to think for yourself, you understand and realize and know what's going on. You understand and realize, like, hey, the way that life was designed, it's not actually gonna make me successful. You understand and realize how you cannot be operating and conforming within the confinements of society, because it will keep you broke, unsuccessful, and happy in every single plane and metric of existence. Then what is a solution? We all need to become financially successful. To do what? One, so that we can actually enjoy and satisfy our earthly materialistic desires. And two, so that we can literally achieve self-sustainability. Like I mentioned before, when you've achieved self-sustainability, people, you've done what? You've broken the system, right? You can go buy you a couple acres of land over there, build you out a couple of houses, grow your own food. Like, can't nobody fuck with you if you're financially successful. Have the best legal teams of people trying to come at you for speaking the truth, right? There's no, bro, like, you've literally achieved, like, freedom. Once you've achieved self-sustainability, you've achieved freedom. And that's why I truly believe and truly think within my heart and soul that if you are somebody, bro, if you think like me, if you're just in general, anybody, bro, if you are somebody that's actually aware of the events that are going on around the world, scrap the idea of coming together and doing all that stuff, because it will never happen because of what? Media companies. And let's all be focused on trying to become financially successful instead. But yeah, so I appreciate y'all for watching that video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'm gonna go ahead, end the video off that, but that's King Wellness, and I'm out.